Pete, how's it going? I'm very good. How are you?
See you.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. You're keeping in shape?
Trying to.
Yeah. So what do you do these days on a regular day?
Well, I got 2 kids.
Yeah.
8 and 6. So I wake up with them very early in the morning.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I take care of them. I get into the gym from about 9 to 11.
Okay.
So I try to stay in shape. And you know, after that, I'll take my kids to lunch. I'll go play golf. I might hit a few tennis balls. Sort of just depends on my day. But I want to keep busy.
Yeah.
You know, when you're
yeah.
retired, as you know, you have your days that are kind of slow. So
Yeah.
I want to keep busy. I want to spend time with my kids.
So in the U.S. Open Series is in full swing here. How does that make you? Does it give you the itch?
Leading up to the U.S. Open was an exciting time. Cincinnati, Washington, LA tournament. You know, it just happened here, and it was a build up to the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
In the U.S. Open, that's where my life changed at 19 years old.
Yeah, I know all about it.
Yeah.
Well, talk about a little bit about the last majors you won, because for me, which one was the most important? Well, the last one, because you didn't win another one. So 2002 finals of U.S. Open, Andre Agassi. Tough conditions. You were actually the underdog.
A little bit.
In maybe not in your eyes, but that match. I mean, how did you feel before it? What happened afterwards?
I remember that second week of that year. It rained a lot the first week. I played 5 matches in 7 days.
Yeah.
So physically, you know, I played that semifinal on Saturday to come back on Sunday to play Andre. And you know, I've always enjoyed playing Andre in that situation. I mean, he was a little bit flat coming into the match, and I matched up pretty well with him. I played really well.
Yeah.
I was hit my back and return well. I was coming in. I was doing everything I needed to do to beat him. And it just clicked, you know, and I played a great match. And for 2 years of going through very tough time in my career, you know, just getting married, people were on me about that. I was losing confidence. I was doubting myself. I changed coaches. I was a mess.
Yeah.
And I just believed, even though I was ranked 12 in the world, haven't won a tournament in 2 years, I still felt like I was the best player in the world.
Yeah.
You know, as crazy as that sounds.
No, it doesn't sound crazy to me.
So it was just harder week in and week out to sort of find that confidence. But for those 2 weeks, and especially getting to the final with Andre, I felt good. You know, I felt it was a good matchup for me, and I was serving well. I was coming in, and you know, it just clicked, and it was the most important win. Not important win, but it felt vindication.
Right.
And I really felt that people were doubting me, and I got the last word, which feels great.
And that was your last match too. Yeah. That obviously wasn't planned.
No.
But how did your thought process go, being the last match?
Yeah, I took some time after it. I felt what was next for me, and I started pulling out of events. I pulled out of the Australian Open. I pulled out of the French. Then once Wimbledon came and went, and I felt I didn't want to be there. Once you get to the point where it's not in your heart anymore,
sure,
it's time to move on. And I won't play just for money. I won't play just to, you know, say goodbye. I play to win.
Sure.
And once that left me, it was time for me to face facts and say I'm really retired. And it was the right decision. It was a hard decision.
Yeah, sure.
But it was time to move on.
Well, there was a lot of mixed feelings. I think you broke most fans' hearts, of course, but I think the players were just overjoyed because suddenly they can win Wimbledon. But anyway, hopefully we get a chance to hit some tennis balls.
You got it.
But before that, we're going to check out the highlights from the Farmers Classic.
Meanwhile, Matt had a workout with Sampras.
Well, Rafael Nadal, he's been overthrown. He's not #1 in the world, but he had a great French Open, obviously winning again. Finals of Wimbledon, which is good enough, although ran into Novak Djokovic. What do you see for Rafa here over the hardcourt season?
He's going to be right there. You know, he really is. He's a great player, and I'm a huge fan of his game. And you know, physically, you can tell his body is starting to wear down a little bit. But I think, you know, come U.S. Open time, he's going to be right there in the second week. Last year he won there, and he's very capable of doing it again. He's one of those athletes that he doesn't take anything off. You know, he's just constantly on you. And I think for a lot of guys, that is tough for him. You know you're in a battle with this kid. As a result, he's just, you know, he's 24. He's won a lot of majors. You know, he's up against a tough guy in Djokovic now. He's lost him 6 times, so he feels a little, you know, a little bit of pressure there, but I'm a big fan of Rafa. He brings it every day.
Roger Federer, where is he these days? He's 30 years old, he's got 2 kids, traveling with 2 kids.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a family man. Does he have it in him to raise his level a little bit? Because he's going to have to.
Yeah, I think he does. I think Roger, he's still motivated. He loves to travel. He loves the lifestyle. He's still playing great. You know, he's lost a few matches here and there, but I don't see any sort of any downfall in Roger. He still is a great player, and you know, some of these guys are in their prime now, and Djokovic and Nadal, and I think it's just year in, year out, it gets a little bit tougher as you get older, and he travels with his kids, and but he believes he's the best player in the world. I know he does. You know, I think he believes he's the favorite, and that's sort of a hurdle that he has to sort of deal with, is Djokovic and Nadal. I mean, those are 2 guys that can move as well as he can, that hit the ball great, that are 23, 24, that are in their prime. But I still see Roger, he does everything so well. He serves well and he moves well, and his forehand's huge, and he's got so much game that I still believe he can win another major.
Does he?
I think he does. I think he still feels like he's the best player in the world. You know, when I was 30, I just felt I was more tired. I was exhausted, where I think he just feels like he still's got another 5 years left. I really believe that. And great player, he's a great champion. I'm a big fan.
Sure, and world number 1, Novak Djokovic. For me, if there was a world record in tennis, you might hold it, because you've played some matches where you were unbeatable, because you serve well, you hit your forehand big, and obviously you closed in. Novak Djokovic, to me, has played some tennis in the last 4 or 5 months that I don't think I've ever seen before.
Djokovic, he's lost 1 match in 8 months. It's incredible.
Amazing.
No one saw this coming, and great mover. Mentally, he's turned the corner. He's so much more positive. I mean, I'm to win 2 majors this year and to lose 1 match. It's one of the best achievements in all sports, not just tennis. I mean, it's incredible.
It's incredible. I mean, he has something in common with you, to me, which is, I hate to play you. I think everybody hates to play you. I mean, they love to play you because you're a great player and you're a great guy, but your style, you knew what was coming, and you're just hoping you're not playing at your best, because then you're in trouble. With Roger Federer, there is a certain way you can hope for unforced errors. Rafael Nadal, you take the ball early, try and drill it into his forehand. Djokovic, I mean, it's just he neutralizes, absorbs power. I mean,
no holes. He's got no holes in his game.
How do you approach a match like that? Do you just close your eyes and go for winners?
Well, I think you have to be. This thing right here, I would get to this net.
As often as possible.
You know, and you know, chip and charge. You know, in his second serve, he can miss that sometimes. You know, if you get that in his head. My service games, I was serving volley on both serves and try to get into the net and try to be aggressive. You know, these long rallies that he gets involved, man, he's such a good mover, and especially off his backhand side, you know, he just sort of flicks it, and he sort of, his defensive game is incredible. He's the best mover out there. You know, his forehand's big. I mean, he's got no holes in his game. You know, you always felt like Novak a few years ago would go up and down a little bit with his emotions. Now he's sort of just like much more positive. He hits a bad shot and he recovers quickly. You know, you can see it, and oof, I mean, it's a tough matchup. I mean, even as good as I thought I was in my game, I was like, okay, how would I beat this guy? You know, and it's not easy.
All right, so it sounds like you're going to be watching the US Open.
100%.
All right, Pete, thanks very much.
No problem, Max.
You win again.